Good evening. It's it's cooler today. We had 2 days of rain, and we had a bunch of people with their lights out. Our lights stayed on here. My sister went back, headed back towards up east, and so she'll probably be in Pennsylvania or close to, parts close to. Um, and we got cool, but it's going right back up to like in the hundreds tomorrow. It's gonna be hot, miserable again. So. To me, well, I planted some plants too, so that I got from um, JD and he's from New York, but from his place in Kentucky. So look like they're doing all right. Next couple, and I gotta go get my wisdom tooth that I broke a piece of it off, taken care of Tuesday. I was hoping, well, anyway, I was hoping to get my sister's old car, but it didn't happen. Didn't pass inspection. There's other problems. But anyway, they're gonna have to figure something out, you know. But I like the new Windows 10. It seems like it's working. It's working real good. I just got you get sort of like in the habit of just doing stuff, so it just you know. Um, but it seems to be working great. I like the new Windows 10, and I'm glad I got it free. Yeah. And but I had a great time when my sister was here. We went out like in the afternoon. After lunch, we stopped at Beale. Well, after 6, we went to Beale Street for a minute. She had dinner there. I like I guess like I guess like I really wasn't really because of my tooth though. But I wasn't really I couldn't. It sort of ruined my appetite. But it really took a hit. Like the day I had to go to the dentist is really when it got really bad. Just was like a slow coming on. You know how toothaches are. I don't know, they're painful. Um and but I was seeing like some of the well I didn't actually watch any of the videos of the debate with the Republicans because first of all, um one's like they're going on about different type of taxing situation, either tax income or give you a percentage of tax and all this stuff, and um, which it's not really the issue. The issue we have here now, right now, is um, a problem. To me, we have a problem with um, people shooting people like in movie theaters and police shooting young black people. Um, there was like a Caucasian child that had got shot. I didn't really see the details of it um, because been busy. Uh, but in a sense, though, I just assumed that it will increase police shooting instead of decrease because they have the military, armor type equipment that they use, like in their squad or when Gestapo style busting in your door for warrants, um, uh, and the it's just the type of mentality that we have trained our policemen. I think they look for a certain type of person. Like around here, like it seems like they have to be at least like over like 5'11", you know. So and then like I already know like I've had some of the like I took a class like when I was in college that happened to have one of them. So I know the type of training they have is sort of hostile towards other people and other races. Uh, um, so I think that we really had a major political problem that sort of was born in the 73s, 72, and it really took off 74 to where we have the results now to where we have, like in the 70s with the uh, uh, with the marijuana becoming illegal and like well where I was at in New York, cocaine was very became very prevalent with like Oliver North and uh, talking about how the CIA, manipulated and funded uh, cocaine to the place, and Rick Ross, how he was introduced to selling it through the CIA, and things like that, these stories like that, so like you could see the results now in the inner city, and me living through the 80s and 90s, you know, I know firsthand exactly. I've seen policemen do crack. Um, and here in Memphis, we have a very um, crazy results from really, I think, from the way the schools had changed in the 70s, and I'm not talking about with them busing children, uh, black children to other white areas, but I'm talking about the food that they serve, the curricula has changed, um, and how in some situations like that we have criminalized our children at a very young age with uh, police in the school, metal detectors and cameras, so that you have more of children that like I remember when we were young, like you could always tell when somebody's watching you, right? So you have children that are bred to uh, not be comfortable. They know they even on if they go on their Facebook that like there was something in the news about, and they thought they were very clever, and like because they were getting like the gangs to fight each other or pitting each other. Well, duh, that's what you've been doing since like 1974. Um, but I mean, and then if you have more hostile, more aggressive, more untrusting children towards the police department because of like their type of training or the way they interact. Like sometimes like you'll say like, oh, they're so nice and everything, but but that's not what that's great for TV because but what happens is a lot of these children here have firsthand had their doors busted in, been in foster care, have a parent in jail, um, or had to get deal with the police either getting pulled over in a car, so they already have already experience with the police, and then they get the what I call the double blinding hypocrite type of stuff where they programmed in school like, oh, call 911. They're like, oh well, this child's a genius. They're 6 years old and they call 911 for emergency. We used to have to remember like a bunch of numbers. You know, and not only the 7 digit but 9 digit numbers. As opposed to now where everybody's programmed into your phone to where you don't have to recall number. So like I think like teaching kids like for emergency if their mom has epilepsies or diabetes or something like that was just something that wasn't had to be like ward for. It was just that it was something that the family talks about. But I think that's just the way the schools go to. Just like around here, like probably also the police and the jailers are also in the same situation, even if it's just 8 hours or how many hours they work. Uh, that if they're a jailer, they're in a jail, they're being watched, they're being camera. Like here, our policemen don't have cameras on them, or on their car. I think they got the funding in the passport. It probably was misappropriated, uh, and but they didn't put cameras on the cars. Um, for whatever reason. Um, and so, but if you're in a situation and you're working in a situation and you have negative, hostile type of thinking, because like maybe you're saying, oh well, I'm dealing with like these type of people, that type of people, and the real bottom line still is that we have politics that have been geared, like just listening to I didn't listen to reading some of the stuff that the Democrats, or not Democrats, rather Republicans had, their topics. The GOP just shows that they're so disconnected to the average citizen, to the working class person, uh, uh, to people that maybe are living from paycheck to paycheck, maybe on Social Security, that they didn't have one topic that was even close to reaching any reality that I have to deal with. And I think that, well, I know for a fact there is a difference in class, and there are some people that have money that are classless, and there are some people in politics that are brainless. And I'm not just talking about like the Trumps, but there's other people also, and they're not, and they're interesting to be in their pocketbook, and not in the security or the development of a healthy United States. It actually seems to be going the other way, and I think that there are. I think that we should look at Barry Sanders because, or Elizabeth Warren, or somebody that actually has read read the policy, somebody that actually they comprehend, somebody that's clever enough to know what's really going on, instead of sort of these yokos that we have in Republican Party that their best interest seems to not be in the best interest of American citizens. And I think that there are some people that are brighter and smart that uh, they um, well, like here they do more harm than damage. I was like, my sister, she's like, like, well, wow, you really, she really, did a good job cleaning up. She looked worse. She left her stuff. And she goes, well, wasn't that how you're supposed to do it? Leave it better than how you found it. And I was like, I've been here too long because people don't think like that here. You know what I'm saying? And it's more self-destructive. We have a very self-destructive society. We have a very judgmental society. We have a very hypocritical society where instead of like saying, oh well, we have a crime problem, let's solve it by fixing what caused the problem. Let's fix the education system. Let's bring manufacturing back into the United States. Let's not only be as consumers from Asia continent like China, Taiwan, Vietnam, Indonesia, India. Let's do that stuff here. And let's not give these corporation tax breaks where it's devastating to the average working person here. We can't all be in the service industry. Some of us dream of their life to be in the service industry, like police, to serve and protect, but they're doing just the opposite because to me it's just too obvious because I've watched the decline go on for the last 30 years. As uh, um, and I think that with our health issue, with our mental issue, and I think the way we deal with our mental issue is also crazy and negative. Instead of because if you bully, chastise, uh, and and misjudge somebody thinking they're crazy, it's like has something to do with their intelligence, then that's where we have a lot of problems at. Or if you think, oh, because they're crazy, why should they be doing like look be smarter than you or have a better job than you? It's like growing up, probably the most craziest people I ever knew probably was considered a genius. So, and and it was just by pretty much probably the fact that they had money and was educated and was able to live their life productively. And I think that's our problem now is that we're stifling our productivity, and especially with our youth, especially in the black community. I think we're focused more on how they wear their pants, uh, you know, and and other ridiculous stuff instead of the real issues is that our schools are failing them, our corporations are failing our communities by taking the money out, taking our tax money out, and not putting any, like, we went to Bath, that took over the pyramids. I That was sort of, that was a waste of money. That was just, they had a big old sign NRA. So that it's just like, it's a slap in the face to our Constitution, to our civil rights and our human rights, when we have, the type of policing, the type of politics that the GOPs are talking about, and when um, uh, uh, um, we have our average Joe buying into the politics. Like, I see the policemen here real paranoid because I watch sitcom. I watched like a couple of police stories, and it was all about like the person came out of jail and wanted to go to the police. Not the person came out of jail; they're on probation. They got fines, maybe restitution. Maybe they have to get a job because they're on parole or probation. That's part of the agreement, so you don't go back to jail, and that they have to probably save money or whatever, and pay rent or whatever, and bills and whatever. So they're coming from zero, where this, so like, I don't know anybody would really give a fuck about how important this person was, to the whole steam of the court system, because you have so many people that are in the court system that are demanding that you do this, that, and the other, be it an ankle bracelet, be it parole, be it probation, be it just harassment, whatever. You know, what I'm saying, that initial policeman becomes null and void when it comes to getting on with your life and trying to, maybe feed, clothe, house yourself. So, I think they get caught up in the propaganda of the television, when a lot of times, the rest of us get caught up in the reality of the situation. So, and I think that's the major difference, is that, that they have to live in a world, where they think that everybody's hostile, that this person is a bad person because of the neighborhood they live in. And I know a lot of these black people over here, they believe it's their business to try to educate, like, this is the way black people do this and black people do that. And the reality is that black people are able to do things that they want to do, how the fuck they want to do, when the fuck they want to do, as long as it doesn't cause anybody else harm, or somebody else, like you're lying or something about somebody. But other than that, you should be like, if you're black and you want to swim or you want to ski or you don't want to do that stuff, you know, uh, then it's not because you're black or white. It's because each person should have, the freedom to be themselves. And I think that we, in the black community, in the African American community, the people of Maryland, sometimes we box hold ourselves into the propaganda. And like, oh, you might be afraid to eat fried chicken and watermelon out because that's propaganda, but white people could eat it. You know what I'm saying? And then with their ignorance on how, life really is, and how evolution. But you could even look, and I'm just using a rough sample. Like, if you want to, they show that cell where they're going like monkey to van to whatever, climbing. But if you want to see a closer evolution, take a pet bill and take a German Shepherd, and those puppies that they had, that they now they just evoluted to, that was their evolution to another type of breed. So it's nothing like blah 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 like that. It has to do more with the reality and the way things actually, are. And I think that we need to get back to that by fixing our schools.